EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he... Take a short break. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Look at this Baltimore defense. They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Burrow looking to pass. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And some room to roam now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll give this up the middle to Brown. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Here's Higgins out of the right side. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. That is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Evan McPherson for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
His throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD.
Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Going deep for Walker.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
On one, ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Burrow will throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Now it's Burrow. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
David Ojabo
from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down. Then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
Now it's Burrow.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm.
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Offensively, they're just not playing a very clean football game right now. This deficit, there's a fumble. Good news for them, at least. That went out of bounds.
You're exactly right, and as they breathe a sigh of relief, you know they're looking at the scoreboard, thinking to themselves, if we turn it over there, things could really get rough for us trying to make a comeback in this game.
And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, they can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 33. A nightmare of a first half for him. And that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
On 1, ready? Here we go. Here we go. 11, 11.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
11, 11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Looking deep here for Chase.
And this is caught. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase
With his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bengals take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now 21-0.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing is Jackson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Throw left side complete to Chase.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Burrow on play action. Got him in. It's Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2.
Here we go.
Now Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll look to throw again.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Bengals are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Brown is into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 28-0.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one. So now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore.
Now it's Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught at the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
A handoff, running left, Henry. Wiggles free. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Von Bell. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
11 MT, 11 MT. 11 Thomas.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to be sacked.
They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. David Ajabo able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
From midfield now, Burrow. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's fourth down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Jackson. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Trey Hendrickson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. To throw is Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Jackson now. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson, his 2nd sack of the night.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now it's Jackson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Jones. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Here we go.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Burrow looking to pass. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
And Walker has it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
They'll try the right side with Henry. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Isaiah Likely
from 13 yards out.
And the Ravens are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. 11.
Now it's Burrow. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Trenton Simpson firing in and sticking him for a loss.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
And that's where you want to use your big tight end. Let him use his size and frame to go up and get the deep ball in the end zone. But that time, they couldn't connect.
And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and this will stay a 2-score game at 16.
Now, this one now not over yet, Charles. You've got a sliver of hope on that other sideline.
You certainly do, because that would have made it a 3-score game, and that probably would have been curtains at that point. But now if they can get down the field quickly and somehow get the ball back one more time, we may have a different ball game.
They're looking deep here for Flowers.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Von Bell.
And the Bengals are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so you don't get another one picked off.
And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
Now it's Burrow. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Here's 1st and 10.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
Here comes 2nd down.
Yeah.
Throwing, Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed.
Jackson. Connecting with Andrews.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, they're not going to go quietly. That's a big play right there. 2 scores down. They're not out of this, but they've got to move.
Well, there's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. Now Jackson.
Sliding out of the pocket.
That one into the hands of Flowers.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure you get...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Bengals will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm. Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turn.